Alright, this is our vinyl cutting room. It's where we cut out decals. And I'll show you program. We're going to cut out one decal to show y'all what's happening. And then, you know, I'm not going to bore y'all with everything. It takes a lot of time into all cutting these decals. So I'll show you. We use Corel Draw. This piece right here is 40 inches by 12 inches up here in my little box. So that lets me know, I don't even know if y'all can see that in the screen or not, but this is how large the actual piece is that we're working on. And I'm going to double check that. Yep, that's exactly what we're working with. It's 40 by 12. So we've got, what I'll do is I'll take this, since I've already drawn it up, and I'm going to send it to my plotter, and I can change it by the colors that's in here. And let's see, somebody's already changed some stuff. We're going to reset all this. Alright, and you can see my program comes up where it's cutting. But I can go here to the different colors. See, I've got the light green, got the black, brown. We want to do the white first. So when I leave it checked on white, that's all we see is the white. So we'll go back out here. That's all we see is the white. Tell me how wide it is and everything. So then, after I get all that set, I come over here to our trusty vinyl cutter. This thing, I bought it back in 2000, I believe. This thing is 26 years old, so she's kind of old, but we'll get her set. Once I get the roller set, lock her down, I'll turn her on. And we got to let it know, we got to let it load so it knows where it's at. Once it comes on, I load it, and it's going to roll up. And we do cut decals for other cars, y'all. But this year has been super, super hectic. I think I've done, well, I've got 4 or 5 cars I've got to do, including mine. And I've had to turn some people down. I just haven't been able to do any more because of everything we've had going on with the stuff in the family. But I always line this up perfect. And now she's set all the way to the left. I come back to my program where I was just at, and I'm going to send it, and it's going to cut it out. And then I'll show you when we weed it. Alright, I'm going to start another thing, but once you get it cut out, lay it up here. Alright, now, in order to see this, sometimes I got to put a light on it. Hopefully that won't mess y'all's view up. Now we've got it cut out to right here. We'll save this. This doesn't have anything cut on it. We'll use it for some strap cutting. Now, once you get this, you want to weed it. Sometimes vinyl doesn't weed this easy, but we've been using this vinyl long enough that we understand how it works, and we've got it pretty much figured out. But then after you do this, you've got to go and pick all the centers out. Yeah, I've been doing this for about 26 years of my life. We do, like I said, decal other cars. This year's been a little bit different. I've had to turn some folks down because we just don't have the time. You figure this is just a few weeks before the actual car show. And here I am. Normally our car's done. Normally we got a bunch of other cars done, but just with everything that's been going on, we just have not been able to get a lot done, final cut wise. But once you get everything weeded out, that's what the back layer looks like. It's going to be our decal. So I'll let you watch when I weed the next color. All right, now this is one of the most difficult finals to weed because you can't see anything for the reflective in it. I don't know if y'all can see that or not. You can't see anything. So we're going to take our time. A little bit more difficult. This is more of a foil instead of a vinyl, so it's easily ripped, and you might witness me ripping something. That's why we try to go a little bit slower. This stuff is much more pricey than regular vinyl too, so just got to be very slow and easy with this, because if I mess this up, I've wasted a lot more money than if I messed up the white. Yeah, if I mess up this, I mess up a lot more money. But it looks cool when it's all said and done. This was this particular color, not this particular color, but my son that was killed loved the teal color. So we do all his decals out of teal. He had a truck that was a teal color. He called it Baja Blast. So we always hold that dear to our hearts as well. But this is new this year. He used to put oil slick decals on the back of his truck. And this is kind of a teal, what they call laser stick. But it's also got an oil slick. When I say oil slick, it changes color. Not only does it reflect color, not only does it if y'all can see this, not only does it, yeah, see how that does? I think it looks like insulation, but I think they call it laser sticks. And we got to go back and get the centers out of all these also. And the only thing we got left now is the hat and the cross. And we'll get it spaced. I'll show you how that works. And then we'll be sticking it on. I'll show you how that works. Alright, I've got the cross here. This is some old vinyl. We've had it for a long time, so I'm not sure how it's going to weed well. She picked up pretty good. Sometimes older vinyl doesn't like the release from the backing as good as some of the newer vinyl, but it went pretty good. There you go. There's the cross. We do it out of gold foil. I think it looks cool. And just hot off the press is the hat. We'll save that. Some scrap. Hot off the press is the rest of the cross. and the hat. Now, for the fun part, I'll show you how this stuff goes together. Alright, hopefully this won't be too complicated. Show y'all how this goes together. The cross is pretty simple. Got it designed in such a way that I can take the spacer tape set it on here like so. And what I like to do is pull just a little bit off the back to expose some of the sticky. And I can hold it up while I get on my tracing table here exactly like I want it. Lay that down, get the bottom side, pull the top side off, stick the top side. Now the decal with the cross and the hat is done. As you can see that or not, it's pretty good. It'll look better when we get it stuck. Alright, now this is going to be a little bit more difficult. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use my wide spacer tape for this. And roll some wide spacer tape out. We'll put, let's go this way. Just like that. I always go back and forth. Just like so. Then roll that out of the way. Now what we've got, sometimes if I got a bunch of other stuff to cut, I'll leave this all exactly the way it is. So when I space it, I can lay it down one piece. This, I didn't want to waste a bunch of vinyl because this is expensive vinyl. So I'm having to lay it down. It's going to take a little bit more time to lay it down, but you'll see what I'm talking about. Alright, we're going. I like to leave these words together, but notice and you'll see what we're fixing to do here in just a second. Start with trace. Lay this down. I'm going to turn this light off because when you got white, got a light shine over there, it makes it harder to see on the tracing table. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull the same way I did the other one. Sometimes you got to a little bit. I'm going to pull just enough off to get this end stuck like this. I'm going to lay it right on the center, just eyeballing it, y'all. Once you get it where you want, and that stuff's sticky, lay it down, get it started, and you'll see, but be careful pulling this off sometimes, especially this foil type is sometimes can be a little bit tricky. But we got it there now. Right. Just get it off, and I always go real easy. That's a big one. I always go back and forth like this, but with this one being small, you can normally rip it right out. Okay, now that one will hold the rest of these in place as we're doing the rest of them. So let's do Elijah next. I'm doing this the same way, y'all. I always cut enough off to get it stuck. Get it on the tracing table. just like so. And I come back from this side. Matter of fact, sometimes you squeeze it and then immediately go back to pull it off. Sometimes it releases a little bit better, but this vinyl is just being a little bit tricky. A little bit tricky, but it's coming. There we go. Just gotta have patience, y'all. A little bit of patience. Now what I'm gonna do, I don't know if it's gonna mess y'all up or not, but I'm gonna turn the light out in the room. Yep, that shows my white outline a little bit better. Yep, just like that. Yep. Yep. This font has got little things. He loved playing the guitar and riding horses, and that's why we got it a Western looking font, you know, kind of an old Western looking font. That was Trace. That's what he liked. Yep. Good boy, Trace was. But I imagine if he could come back right now, he wouldn't. Yep. All right, let's see here. Let's do hearts to do it. So, all right, we're gonna put this last little touch on here. Once we get this outline exactly like I want it. That's perfect. See, that black releases so much better. There you go. All right, now, because we had to do this, that means we need to go back. And since I've got this narrow tape, this is what I'm going to do, y'all. I'm going to put this all together. Has one decal. And you'll see how that works here in just a second. Yep. Perfect. Oh, this is going to be good, y'all. I'm excited. Trace gets the biggest spot and the first spot in the car. And that's the way it's going to be every year from here on out. Especially this year. We're dedicating this year to Trace. Make sure you put that stuff out of the way. She'll make a mess, but I always trim around. The decals like that normally. So if you were to order this decal from me, this is what you would receive right here. And you can notice we got the different spacings in there, but then I'm going to show you how you would install it on your car. Right. Once you get your piece up here, got it good and clean, lay your decal on it, and I'm going to measure it so it's, always remember when you measure a decal that you're putting on something, for instance, that I gave you, you want to measure to the actual decal, not to the spacing tape, because you see I just cut the space tape out on. So we're going to start by getting it centered. This thing is 49 1/8. So let's put it down to 48. 48 would be 24. So let's get, that's what I like to do. right around 48. Get a marker. This is just how I do it, y'all. Once you find center, okay, that mark is the center of my piece. Now, if I measure the center of my actual decal, my decal's 30, so the center's 15, right there, which is pretty much the center of my cross, and I get those two lines lined up. Now I know I'm correct this way. Then I pull the tape so I get it. Let's see, let's go. Let's go 8.5 right there. Let's see what that looks like. 8.5. 8.5. I measure to the bottom of that white. 8.5. 8.5. And remember, if you've got a round number or letter, like the C is going to hang a little bit lower than a flat, like the E or the T. So if you're measuring, make sure you measure to the same piece. And we'll make sure we're at 1 1/4 and 1 1/4. So we're at 8.5, 8.5. Those two lines are lined up. That means my decal is where I want it to go. Once you get it where you want it to go, this is what I found out. It's the easiest way to put a decal on, y'all. Make sure you don't move it. One piece in the middle, another piece in the middle. And then I always go back. Sorry, some rainy roll tape is messing up on me. And I put one piece on one end. That keeps it from shifting, moving, or anything. That decal is going to always be there. Now, once I get one side of it pinched down, once I get one side of it pinched down, I flip the decal over and I pull the backing off. Just like that, let that lay there. You might have to have a helping hand if you're doing something vertical on the side of a car, but this is easy to lay flat. I cut this off, make sure you don't leave any ragged edges on it because the little furs will stick on the facing tape. And you take this one. Now this is the motion I always do. You go up and down, and you take diagonal, like little triangle bites out of it. And that works all the way right on out of it. Like this. See how that works? Now, your decal is not going anywhere. It's centered and moved. Even if you've got it crooked, it's crooked forever. At this point, you pull all tape off that I had. It was holding it because it ain't going nowhere. This side's got it. And then we're going to flip it back over to the other side and pull the backing off. Alright, I think y'all see where we're going with this. I always hold this up. Just kind of let it fall down. And do very slowly. Up and down. This is when something's flat. It's really easy. Put a decal on. Just like that. And sometimes I go over it, make sure it's good to go. Now, y'all remember what we put on last? This is the last one we put on. Pull this one off. It don't matter. I could have pulled it all off at one time, but I'm going to do this because I think the reveal is going to be pretty good on this one. Alright. There you go. I'll go back. I'm going to pull this off. Look at that, guys. Look at that color. That's a very pretty color. I wasn't even planning on using that color. But when I went to my vinyl shop to pick up my vinyl, and they said, I got a new color here. And I'm like, oh yeah, I'm a sucker for blues. I thought about Trace. when I saw that color, and I said, Trace would want that color. So that's what we're going with. Should be able to pull this all off one time. Oh yeah. That is sharp looking. Here comes the, we're going to pull this completely off. There's the chrome. Oh yeah, that's a nice accent to it too. There it is. There it is. So she's done. So there it is. I think it turned out really nice. Y'all tell me what y'all think. I mean, the way that thing kicks off and glitters, oh, it's just nice. So, y'all remember, till next time, if she's giving trouble, you guessed it, she's going to the bad.